What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting video. Imagine this for a second. It's Sunday. The stadium is packed. The roar of the crowd is deafening. The quarterback walks up to the line, scanning the defense, ready to make his move. But then, he sees him, number 97, standing there, silent, unshaken. Kenny Clark, and in that single glance, the quarterback knows. Something is about to go terribly wrong. But here's the thing, the story you think you know about Kenny Clark, it's not the full story. Because behind that calm exterior is a past filled with chaos, pain, and a relentless hunger that turned him into one of the most dangerous forces in football. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a man who went from heartbreak to becoming the silent nightmare every quarterback fears. And trust me, the truth is way darker, way more inspiring, and way more shocking than you ever imagined. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see Kenny Clark in a way you never have before. And once you know his story, you can't unknow it. Chapter 1, The Mysterious Beginning. It all starts in Southern California. Warm weather, bright skies, and a young boy growing up with dreams that felt impossible. Kenny Clark wasn't born into privilege. He wasn't raised in the perfect home. In fact, his childhood was shaped by something most kids can't even imagine. Picture this, you're 11 years old. Life should be simple. School, friends, maybe Pop Warner football. But for Kenny, life took a brutal turn. His father, the man who was supposed to guide him, protect him, and be his hero, was suddenly gone, arrested, convicted, sentenced to life in prison. That moment changed everything. Most kids would crumble. Most would give up. But Kenny, he didn't break. He hardened. That day, something inside him flipped. It wasn't just about football anymore. It was survival. It was proving everyone wrong. It was rewriting a story that felt doomed from the start. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite all the chaos at home, Kenny started turning heads on the football field. And this wasn't because he was the biggest or the fastest. No, this was something else. Something you can't measure on paper. A mindset. A refusal to quit. He played high school ball at Carter High in Rialto, California. And here's the crazy part. Even when life was throwing punches, Kenny was dishing out hits on the field like nothing else mattered. Coaches started whispering, "This kid's different." And they were right. But talent alone doesn't guarantee success, especially when you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. The question was, would Kenny Clark make it out? Or would the darkness pull him under? Chapter 2, The Turning Point, College Days. The answer came under the bright lights of UCLA. Imagine being 18, fresh out of high school. Suddenly, you're not just playing football. You're playing on one of the biggest stages in college sports. For Kenny, this was the escape he'd been fighting for. But the pressure, it was unreal. Because every single play, every single snap, wasn't just about winning games. It was about proving that he wasn't defined by his past. And here's the twist. Kenny didn't just survive at UCLA, he thrived. He became a force on the defensive line, a name that quarterbacks didn't want to hear. But what really made him stand out? His technique, his intelligence. Kenny wasn't just strong, he was surgical. He studied defenses like a detective solving a case. He knew where the play was going before the ball was even snapped. By his junior year, NFL scouts were circling. But here's where the suspense kicks in, even then. Even after dominating in college, some experts doubted him, said he wasn't big enough, said he wasn't explosive enough. Can you believe that? They looked at Kenny Clark and thought, good player, but not special. And yet, the Green Bay Packers saw something no one else did. Chapter 3, The NFL Draft, A Quiet Storm Arrives. 2016 NFL Draft, first round. The Packers are on the clock. Names are flying off the board. Big-time prospects, future stars. And then, with the 27th overall pick, Green Bay makes their move. Kenny Clark, defensive tackle, UCLA. Some analysts were shocked. Reach pick, they said. Good player, but not elite. Little did they know, this was the beginning of something terrifying. Because from the moment Kenny stepped into Lambeau Field, he didn't just show up to play. He showed up to dominate. Rookie year, he adjusted. Sophomore year, he made noise. And by his third season, Kenny Clark wasn't just a good player, he was a nightmare. Double teams? Didn't matter. Running backs? Forget it. Quarterbacks? Let's just say, they started seeing him in their sleep. And here's the eerie part, he did it all without the spotlight. No trash talk, no drama. Just quiet destruction. Well, the world obsessed over flashy pass rushes. Kenny was in the trenches, dismantling plays before they even had a chance. But how? How does a man with that much pressure, that much expectation, stay so calm while wreaking absolute havoc? The answer will blow your mind. Chapter 4, The Silent Dominator, Secrets of a Beast. Let me paint a picture. You're an offensive lineman. You've watched the film. You studied the tendencies. You think you're ready. But then the ball is snapped, and Kenny Clark does something you can't explain. He doesn't just bull rush you. He manipulates you. He uses leverage, hand placement, raw strength, and something else. Something almost terrifying, patience. Kenny Clark waits for you to make the first mistake. And when you do, it's over. Teammates call him a leader. Opponents call him a problem. But here's what most fans don't know. Kenny isn't just playing football. He's playing chess. Every snap is a move. Every play is a setup for the next. That's why he's not just good. He's dangerous. And this isn't hype. Look at the numbers. Pro Bowls, career sacks, tackles for loss. But stats can't tell the full story. Because Kenny Clark's true impact isn't on paper. It's on the field, in the fear he creates, and in the plays that never even get started. Because he shut them down before they began. But there's still one question. Where does that fire come from? Why does Kenny Clark play like a man possessed? For that, we go back to the darkness. Chapter 5, The Shadow Behind the Glory. Every player has a reason. For Kenny, it's crystal clear. That day when his father went away, that was the moment. Kenny promised himself he'd never let life beat him. That he'd become so great, so unstoppable, that no one could ever doubt him again. Every rep in the gym, every film session, every grueling practice. In the freezing cold of Green Bay, it's all tied to that promise. And here's the twist. While most players chase fame, Kenny Clark chases peace. He's not loud. He's not flashy. He doesn't need the cameras. For him, greatness is silent. And that is what makes him terrifying. So the next time you watch the Packers play, look for number 97. Watch the line. Watch the chaos he creates without saying a word. Because now you know the truth. Kenny Clark isn't just a player. He's a storm. A storm that started years ago in a small California home, when a boy made a promise to himself that he would never, ever break. And if you think you've seen everything he can do, think again. Because in the next video, we're breaking down Kenny Clark's deadliest move. The one technique that offensive linemen still can't solve. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. If this story shocked you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the untold stories of the NFL's most dangerous players, we're just getting started.